Hey everyone, it's Brian, and today we're going to be exploring the world's oldest widely practiced religion, its tallest mountain, and its fastest growing economy. Where do you think we're headed? If you guessed South Asia, well, you got it! By the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the nation's physical characteristics, influences, culture, and economy of South Asia, infer how the Himalayas have affected migration and invasion attempts, and analyze why codifying India's caste system into law increased the severity of discrimination. As we explore, keep this question in mind. How much do you have in common with a student on the other side of the globe? As you contemplate that question, please make sure that you have your PDF printed and ready for the lesson. Now, let's go! Despite taking up just 3.5% of the world's land area, South Asia is packed with history. It has produced some incredibly influential systems of belief and been indelibly molded by outside rule. And it's already trivia time. Ready? In which country is the Indus River primarily located? Did you guess India? Well, that would make sense, but no. What about Pakistan? Yep, you'll just have to wait and find out why. Now, why are we asking you about the Indus River? Well, it's basically what started this whole thing we call South Asia. The Indus Valley Civilization, one of the world's oldest, dates back to about 3300 BCE. Flowing nearly 2,000 miles, it's characterized by spectacular gorges as well as by flat alluvial plains, which are flat plains rich in deposits of river sediment. During the summer monsoon season, heavy rains pound the Indus Valley. These rains help to source irrigation canals, but resulting floods can be devastating. Indus Valley monsoons are an example of orographic precipitation. Do you remember what that means? That's right! It's when physical barriers such as high mountains cause air to rise, cool, and produce precipitation. So that means we need a physical barrier. Which brings us to the Himalayas. Nicknamed the rooftop of the world, they were formed by another Oro word. Can you guess what it is? Yep, it's orogeny. Remember that from our Europe unit? Orogeny occurred when the Indian landmass smashed into the Eurasian plate. This collision resulted in a beautiful crash. I mean, look at it. The Himalayan mountain system includes 10 of the world's 14 tallest mountains, including the tallest, Mount Everest. And within the Indian peninsula are also the eastern and western Ghat mountain ranges, centered by the Deccan Plateau. India extends into the Indian Ocean, where the island nations of Sri Lanka and the Maldives rest. Separated from India by the Thar Desert, Pakistan features coastline on the Arabian Sea, while Bangladesh is on the Bay of Bengal. Afghanistan, Nepal, and Bhutan are landlocked, with the latter two countries tucked into the Himalayas. It's time for a critical thinking question. How might the Himalayas have influenced migration or potential enemy invasion of the Indian peninsula throughout history? Pause the video while you record your answer on the PDF. South Asia has a rich patchwork of religious influences. When a group called the Aryans came to the Indus River Valley from modern-day Iran, their culture and religion mixed with those of the indigenous peoples, resulting in the formation of Hinduism, the world's oldest widely practiced religion. Buddhism sprouted from Hindu beliefs, and Islam was brought by Arab merchants, and later, the Muslim Sultanate of Delhi ruled over much of the Indian subcontinent and forced conversion on many. The Mughal Empire followed, another Muslim kingdom, but one that was more tolerant of other faiths. Hinduism experienced a revival in the 19th century and is now the world's third largest religion. While Britain was establishing colonies in America, they were also setting up shop in South Asia. In 1610, the British East India Company established trading posts along the Indian coast. Eventually, this turned into a colonial empire which ruled over most of South Asia. Resistance within India led to independence in 1947. A component of Britain's exit was the partition of India, which divided the country into the nations of Hindu-majority India and Muslim-majority Pakistan, home of the aforementioned Indus River. This led to cross-border migration and animosity that at times resulted in violence. In 1948, Sri Lanka gained independence from Britain, and in 1971, Muslim-majority East Pakistan became Bangladesh. Afghanistan has experienced turmoil in recent years. It was occupied by the Soviet Union in the 1980s, with military groups toppling the Soviet-allied communist Afghan government. There are 1.9 billion people in South Asia, 24% of the world's population, and it is the Earth's most densely populated region, at more than 7 times the world average. Hinduism and Islam remain the region's most widely practiced religions, but there are pockets of Buddhists, Christians, and Sikhs, among other faiths. For centuries, a rigid social hierarchy called the caste system has existed in India. Based in part on Hindu belief, the caste system held a person within the social class into which they were born, whether high or very, very low, and discrimination was commonplace. When the British colonized India, the caste system became a part of the legal order, widening caste divides. Activist Mohandas Gandhi fought to abolish the caste system, and today even its social influence is in decline. India's secular government is actively working to end it. That leads us to a critical thinking question. Why do you think that integrating the caste system into the legal code intensified discrimination? Take a minute to record your answer in your PDF. So, here's a question for you to think about. Does this language look familiar? How about this one? Believe it or not, these two languages are part of the same language family. Wait, what? Let me explain. Both are part of the Indo-European language family, which traces its origins back 5,000 years to the Russian steppe. The first, of course, is English. The second is Hindi, India's most widely spoken language. It's not the only language, though. South Asia is incredibly diverse, with not 6, not 50, but 650 languages spoken. After decolonization, India's government set up and oversaw several steel plants, but the economy stagnated. It wasn't until a free market economy emerged in the early 1990s that India's economy began to not just grow, but skyrocket. This has spurred South Asia's rise to be the fastest growing economy in the world. There are a growing number of educated English speakers moving to the cities to fill roles in software development and customer support. While most South Asians still subsist on farming, the economic landscape is changing. Let's ask our next critical thinking question. How can knowing English open up more business opportunities with other countries? What countries could you work with? Please pause the video while you answer in your PDF. Meanwhile, challenges remain. In 2021, the Taliban, a strict fundamentalist Islamic group with a history of harsh rule and denial of basic human rights, regained power in Afghanistan after being toppled by a U.S.-led force in the 2000s. In several countries, girls have far fewer educational opportunities than boys. It's also estimated that nearly 300 million South Asians are malnourished, and 25% of the population is below the poverty line. Well, explorers, that brings us to the end of our lesson. Were you able to find anything that you have in common with students in South Asia? And we're just getting started on the region. Join us in another lesson as we focus specifically on the Republic of India. Until then, keep exploring.
Hey, hey!